What's going on? So, wanted to make a quick video because I get some emails, I get some DMs, and they say something to the effect of, hey, love what you're doing, love the podcast, but uh, what gives you the authority to talk on this, to have an opinion on how to create a successful entertainment career? So, I thought I would make this little video to explain. So, my career started off quite late in life. I didn't start this whole arts thing until I was 17 and a half years old. I played sports. I got concussed out of football. I would have needed elbow surgery if I'd have kept playing baseball. And all of a sudden, I had nothing to do. And literally, one of my sister's friends comes over and she goes, hey, you want to lift some girls in this show? And I said, okay, sure. I have nothing else going on. So I did that. Turns out I enjoyed it. Turns out I was pretty good at it. Then I started getting involved in drama at school, and they said, hey, we're doing a musical. So I said, well, I guess I should learn how to sing, and then I joined choir. Turns out I can sing as well. And I got accepted into some pretty prestigious choirs. I did that. I started getting involved in community theater at the Missoula Children's Theater, which is really good. Booked some lead roles there. And then it was college time. So I went to the University of Montana, thought I was going to do medicine and voice and performing arts. Can't do both, so I chose vocal performance and did that. And I also had auditioned to be the mascot of the school, and I booked that, which was an amazing experience because I got to perform all over the West Coast, Northwest of the United States. I got to regularly perform in front of like 22,000 people at a football game with a big motorcycle and smoke and everything, everyone jacked up and amped up for a big old game. That was amazing. And that ultimately culminated in me winning the Capital One National Mascot of the Year award, which meant I was voted the #1 collegiate mascot in the United States of America. Then I went to Vienna, Austria for a semester. I studied abroad, did some voice stuff over there because I was a vocal performance major. Then I transferred schools. I gave up my full ride scholarship in Montana, went to the Boston Conservatory, got into about $120,000 worth of student debt, realized I was way behind the 8 ball when I showed up in Boston. So I had a lot of learning to do. So I did that. I got much, much better. Fast forward, did some regional theater stuff. Fast forward, graduated, went to New York City, got an agent, did some shows. Fast forward, booked a brand new inaugural cruise ship, which was a very unique experience because it was all brand new. It was 5 brand new shows working with the choreographers in creation, which is super unique. So I got to work with some incredible choreographers, did that, traveled around to like 40 plus countries on that gig. That's where I met Jess, who is now my wife. We've got a little 4-year-old girl now as well, so that worked out. And then we got ourselves on contracts together because working for big multinational corporations is a really great way to stay together because they handle all the visa things for you. So we did that. Then I moved to Australia because she's Australian, and I did a bunch of corporate performances, industrials, things like this. I also came back to mascotting. I originated a mascot for a professional cricket team here in Australia. Then we moved to Las Vegas. Did Vegas thing for about 7 years. I've starred in or performed in 9 different shows on the Las Vegas Strip. Also use Vegas as my hub to go all around the world. Went to Germany for some shows, went to Italy for some shows. I sang with the Boston Pops. I've sang as a soloist with the Ottawa Philharmonic. Lots of different things. Then started getting into the other side of the table, the production side, the like the corporate production side, the project coordinator side. So these are like huge conventions. Say you go to a convention hall, big convention room, it's empty, nothing there. That gets transformed into some kind of something stage, cool performance. I make all that stuff happen, right? So do that part of the industry for some of the world's biggest companies like Amazon, Samsung, Microsoft, stuff like that. Then, throughout all that stuff, I was also still performing, of course, became an Actors Equity member as an actor and also as a stage manager. I've gotten to call a handful of shows in Las Vegas, also called a handful of corporate production gigs. So all over. And then that led into me creating You Booked It, the podcast, because while it sounds like I just kind of bopped from one thing to the next thing to the next thing throughout my entire career, the fact is, it wasn't easy. I made a lot of mistakes along the way, and I know that things would have been much different. Things could have been much more efficient, better, more successful if I would have done things a little bit better. So I created a podcast to figure out really what these things are. So I've spoken with more people than anyone in the entire world specifically on this subject, and I've talked with people from all over the industry, not just Broadway and Hollywood, which, by the way, only makes up about 2% of the global performance market. And I realized no one's talking about the other 98% of this market, so I thought, let's talk about that. So started doing that. That evolved into the community, which is where people like yourself can go and chat now with people that are doing what you're doing, or you can connect with people that have already done what you're trying to do, and you can have conversations about how to do it. And then that evolves into me really working one-on-one with people and taking all of my expertise from the last 17 years of my career, all of these relationships that I've made, all of the networking connections that I've made over the 200 plus interviews that I've done with all of these professionals, bringing it all together and helping entertainers book more jobs more consistently and getting noticed, standing out from all of the noise. So hopefully this long story long video answered those questions.